too, and it's our pleasure to welcome in the 2017 first-round pick of the Los Angeles Angels, Jo Adell. Welcome to our broadcast booth.
Thank you for having me.
That hat looks good on you.
It feels great.
Yeah, the good colors.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, you're a Louisville Cardinal fan. You were going to go to the University of Louisville, right?
Absolutely.
So that you got it all planned out.
No doubt about it.
What was it like to finally get that contract in front of you and put that signature on there?
You know, I think of it more of like a graduation almost, that I moved to the next step of my life, and you know, with this Angels organization, I just feel like I'm at home, and I am. And you know, I really felt the day I got drafted that I was their guy, and that's really important to me, and that's what I wanted throughout this whole draft process.
Yeah, Joe, going back to that day when they announced your name, that the Angels had drafted you, how great of a feeling was that for you?
It was unbelievable. You know, the weather out here, the fans, the team, being able to go and talk to Trout and listen to him and how he made it, and you know, just being around the guys these past couple of days has been awesome, and I just have a great feel about it when I'm here.
Product of Ballard High School, the Gatorade Player of the Year for Kentucky, and like we said, you were going to sign a letter of intent to go to the University of Louisville. Now the question becomes, who's the best athlete in your family? Your sister was a softball player, Gatorade Player of the Year, right? If I'm not mistaken. Softball, yes. Went to Tennessee. She transferred to Louisville, and now she's throwing javelin for the track team at the University of Louisville.
As crazy as it
sounds.
So
is she the one? She the best athlete?
I'd have to give it to her for sure. Anyone who can go from playing softball and Division I level and coming over and just hopping on the track and field team, but she never ran track before in her life, never done track events, so it's a pretty special athlete.
Now, as far as the Angels, and I know Gibby was talking about the organization, and when they start talking to you, scouts start talking to you, and you're getting closer and closer to the draft. What was that like for you when you start hearing your name and where it might fall in that first round, when it starts to get honed in and say, hey, you're going to be our guy if you're there for us? So take us through that for a moment, because for a high school kid, I can only imagine the emotions and the number of things that are running through your mind as picks start ticking off, and you're wondering, when am I going to go and where am I going to go?
It was pretty humbling to hear my name at the top of the ranks. The big thing for me was really two things. When I committed to Louisville, Coach Mack always told me, he said, no matter what happens, be where your feet are, and basically stay grounded. And I felt like I did that this year, and the easiest way to do that was, you know, also joking around, having a good time with my teammates, and making it a fun time, not making it too serious. It is pretty serious, you know, when 30 guys show up to watch you play pretty much every game, but I was able to move that off to the side and just focus on my team and winning games. So that really worked out well for me this year.
And a lot of really good young talent, a lot of high school kids drafted early on in the first round. That was pretty cool to be able to see and be part of.
Oh, no doubt. Guys that you played with, played against, and just to see them making that life-changing decision and seeing what teams they go to, it was awesome. It was unbelievable.
Alex scored with a leadoff home run here, the fourth, his third of the season, and it's a 4-1 Royals lead. Second home run allowed by Nolasco, as Merrifield's already with a couple of hits. Jo Adell, the Angels' first-round pick, already signed, sealed, and delivered. Now what's the plan for you? What have they told you? What's next? Where you're headed?
This weekend I have a get-together in North Carolina. Both sides of my family are from there, so I'll go there and spend time with them. Since I was actually at the draft, I didn't get to see them. And next Wednesday I'll be in Arizona, getting started, working out, and getting ready to do my thing. So I'm excited.
It's a dry heat in Arizona.
Oh, it's a dry heat.
Remember that, okay?
It's a dry heat for sure. I've been out there, and they told me, you know, even when you think you're not sweating, it's probably already dried. So.
Right, yeah. Gooby, any advice for the youngster as he starts organized ball?
I think, you know, especially when you're drafted out of the high school, that was the same thing. When you go down there, you know, you have great numbers. You had great numbers in high school, and all of a sudden you get there, and there's a lot of guys as good as you are, and that's the big thing. You realize the competition is supreme at that point, but you just got to go out there and relax and have fun.
For sure, you definitely do have to do that. I was one of those guys. I was a two-way player at first, right? So I was a primary pitcher that hit. That was my title before really just being an outfielder. And went through those summer struggles of seeing velocity and seeing guys during the high school circuit that can throw it hard and make it move. And so I had to adjust, and I know what that's like, and I know kind of what those slumps are like, but definitely moving forward, you just got to stay with your approach. And
yeah, that's got to help you out too when you think about it as a hitter, because you were a pitcher and you see how difficult it is to hit the baseball, and it allows you now as a hitter just to really shorten up there and be more consistent.
Definitely does. Definitely had to shorten up the swing and make solid contact.
This one grounded to short, should be the second out of the inning. Before we let you go, and there's a lot of talk, there has been, especially this draft, about the two-way player. Guys maybe perhaps trying to do that in professional baseball. And it's one thing to do it at high school, maybe even at the college level, but it becomes a little bit more difficult, especially with the investment of a player. Do you see that more and more? Do you see players now thinking about trying to take it to the next level, do the multi-position thing?
I think it's a good thing to let guys try both and see what works out. I mean, you don't want to limit yourself to only, one thing. So, but at the end of the day, I think you have to start off hitting first. I think that's what you have to do, and it's hard to, just be a pitcher and come back and hit. I'd much rather see a guy start off hitting and pitch at the end. You can always get back on the mound. It's just harder to get your timing and get your rhythm back at the plate. But I think it's a great thing. I think that baseball needs that, and it's just more and more athletes that you're seeing that can do both, and that's a good thing.
Well, Joe, we appreciate it. And the one thing Gooby will always tell you is that the pitchers are the smartest guys on the field. Don't believe that.
Yeah.
All right.
He pitched too. That's why
he became a right fielder and led the nation in home runs.
The best athletes. I said that.
Congratulations. Welcome to the Los Angeles Angels.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Joe Adell. Royals up 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the fourth.